So again, if you're born May 15th, you have the birthstones of April, Blue Sapphire, and Ruby, and those would be your soul stones. So if Thanos needed to snap, this would be what was needed to snap your existence into life if you were a, gemstone. And this is from May 15th, 1984, which is a Tuesday. So your birthstone is May Emerald. And if you're connected to September people, it's because September birthstone is Sapphire. You can pause and read more about what Blue Sapphire represents. And July is for Ruby. So if you're around a lot of July people, this is why. You can press pause and read what July is about as well. So when you think about the SNAP, I always think about like EBT, food SNAP. EBT or like electronic benefits transfer. So if you get SNAP or EBT like food stamps, it's like they could snap your existence away. Just by taking away your food stamps, you might not be able to afford food, or so it's expensive. So I was talking about Nephthys being your twin as a Pisces, and she's like the lady of the house. When you look at her name in Egyptian, it's like her Greek name is actually Nephthys, but it's like, if you want to say it the right way, it's NEBT. So NEBT, what I was saying about EBT, electronic benefits transfer. Like when the government thinks about all these names and acronyms, there's usually like an underlying Egyptian connection, because they do study Egyptian mythology a lot, because the Egyptians did a lot of things and knew a lot of things about what happens in the future, just like a Mayan or an Aztec would. So when you see EBT, think about at Nephthys, NEP, lady of the house. When you're the lady of the house, you have to go food shopping. Or if you're a single mother because your husband passed away, like her husband was Set, and he had a fight with, Osiris, and had to, he made a trick on Osiris and basically took Osiris out, which was his brother-in-law. When you get into the mythology of Osiris, Set, Nephthys, Isis, Horus, Anubis, then you'll start to understand the connections between what happens in real life and in your real life, because your May is for Isis, the goddess, and what happens in mythology. For example, so you might be around Pisces, Scorpios, Sagittariuses, Cancers, Pisces, because that is the astrological alignment of those god and goddesses. Again, when you EBT, electronic benefits transfer, lady of the house mom, going food shopping. If you want to not feed her children, you just take away her SNAP, her food stamps. And like I was saying, the house with the red doors reminds me of Dorothy, because Nephthys, the door, Dorothy, she has a red door on top of her head. Think Insidious. If you haven't watched Insidious, go watch all the Insidious series, because it shows you how you could astral travel into another realm, by going through red doors. And I already told you there's a connection with Skull and Bones and how they, worship Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios. They look into the wolf, which is Anubis. So it's a lot of things to do with like the Super Bowl and the bowl on her head, the basket on her head. The basket also goes with like basketball. Like I said, I showed you how it relates to football, but it also relates to basketball. So like I said, there's the EBT. I wanted to bring this up. EBT, like NEBT for Nephthys, okay? Electronic benefits transfer. The SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The Thanos SNAP, Nephthys, the pointer finger. It has the purple finger, the purple stone for amethyst for Pisces right there. And when you see like the basketball court, like the square and the little square and the line, the lady of the house, look at the square and the basketball hoop. You see, there's a square, there's the line for the basketball, there's the net or the basket on top of Nephthys' head. And if you look at a basketball, it looks like a Pisces in a Gemini sign. 2 lines and 2 lines across, that's like a Pisces sign. It has 2 lines and 2 lines across. So look at a basketball so you can see. When they be like, whose house is this? Sports, whose house is this? Nephthys, lady of the house. Think of the basketball being a pregnant belly or a baby. You're trying to get it into a basket, trying to get it across the astral plane, because a lot of souls get snatched when they are born or passing away, and they get held in purgatory. So that's where the angels come and fight for you to get to future heaven on earth, because they want you to keep reincarnating in the same type of life. Like Earth is not moving forward, we're kind of staying still in the same karmic things instead of rising to the best Earth could be, which is future heaven on Earth. And that's by getting you, born to maybe parents that are not ready for you, by not maybe giving reparations to Black people in order for them to survive, because it's like a generic, like you have ancestors who don't have money, so you don't have money, so the kids don't have money, so it keeps going. And then the world's based off like skin color. So if you come back as a lighter skin, you might have more advantages than a darker skinned person, because it's easy to spot a dark skinned person and say, you're an underclass. So there are certain karmic cycles that need to be ended. So a lot of these rituals, basketball game, football games, they're there to keep the cycle in balance. Get the basketball, put it through the hoop, the same hoop, bring it back around. Well, you want to take that basketball, steal it from another team, and get that baby or that soul to the right side. If you look at like the basketball on the net, you could tell like they like to do symbology with it. Like the Google Play Store looks like this symbol, looks like a basketball net. If you see like the lines, the big V, the small V's, the J, small, it looks the same as a basketball net. Basketball net also looks like this part of the star. And when you put the star upside down, it becomes the opposite star, the other symbol. But this is the sigil of Lucy, okay? So think Lucy, think I Love Lucy, think redhead, Pyramid of Ramses, Raggedy Ann. So that's why you have Ice Spice at the Super Bowl representing the Raggedy Ann doll, Ed Lorraine Warren, Possessions, Insidious, Astral Travel. So, bless you, my cat's sneezing. So Astral Travel, the basket, the ball, the babies. This is, they want to stop souls from, not having to have the same karmic past. They want you to do the same circle over and over and over again on repeat. So just pay attention to the symbol, because it's always a symbol and a symbol to subconsciously talk to everybody in the world. Like I said, the basketball court, the basket, Nephthys. Again, if you're born in May, you're Isis goddess, and the twin of Isis goddess is Nephthys, Pisces. Like the Oreo symbol having like the Leviathan cross or the cross of Lorraine on it. Think Lorraine Warren and think about Possession, Annabelle, Amityville Horror. Think about Taylor Swift being with Blake Lively, whose husband played in Amityville Horror as Ed Warren. Ed Warren was born or died August 23rd, which is the same portal as Kobe Bryant, whose birthday is August 23rd, which goes into the basketball portal. So when you see the Raggedy Ann, the living one, Ice Spice, born 1/1, she's born the same day as the Lutz family father. So the father of the Lutz family, his birthday is 1/1. So when you bring Blake Lively's energy, you're bringing her husband's energy. Blake Lively was born August 25th, which is the day that Aaliyah, the singer, died. Aaliyah, on Romeo Must Die, she had a Raggedy Ann doll that was black in the bed with her. So even when you're doing movies, they're setting up the scene to already know what they're going to do with your soul or with your energy. They put things on you. They put pictures and certain symbols in maybe a commercial or a TV show or a sitcom, and it's part of the astral realm, which has a lot of symbology, because when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, your subconscious could recognize certain symbols from your past lives to know what it means. So again, when you look into all this stuff, it's a lot of things combined in it. So going back how like Nephthys with the red door reminds me of Dorothy's and the red ruby red shoes. The red door of Nephthys. Think about Dorothy. Think about Taylor Swift being there in Kansas, Dorothy, Cindy. So like that whole Super Bowl 2024 was a lot of symbology with Dorothy, the red door, but it goes into like, the Church of Satan, which COS is like Church of Satan, like cosine. Then cosine, like the mathematical cosine, Church of Satan, cosine, sin. So when they're doing these mathematical equations, you start thinking, was cosine and sine about like certain things? Like, is it undercover? See, cosine, Church of Satan, sin. Goes into like Anton LaVey. And Anton LaVey has that Oreo symbol right there that church, that little cross right there.